living business.
Thank you very much for watching Smart 24 TV, and those of you on our social media, thank you so much for following the conversation here. We are discussing organic agriculture, and this is the point. And my name is Anthony Sebali, your host. Now, before we went into the break, we have highlighted some of the benefits of organic agriculture, and Madam Marilyn was very clear on the fact that if we are looking at healthy feeding for our generation, the future generation, and even the current generation, we must adopt organic agriculture. And of course, other benefits with the farmers and the different other sectors, players in the sector. But now, this, of course, sector still has challenges, and we want to address some of them and mention some of these challenges straight up. And I want to first start off with Madam Marilyn on the issue of underutilization. And our reports show that in 2015, Madam Marilyn, we had about confirmed $300 million worth of orders of organic agricultural products supplied. And in that year, we were able to only supply about 45.5 million, which is not even a quarter of that. And this demonstrates our high unmet potential. Also, when it comes to land utilization in Uganda, 80% of our land in Uganda is arable. It means it can be cultivated, and actually we can get produce from it. But currently we're using only about 40% of that. Why is there slow adoption to this, and why aren't we exploiting our full potential as a country?
Thank you, Anthony. About the land use, I could say that most of the land is not utilized because you find like people who are supposed to do this farming, they have moved to the cities. They have moved to the towns to look for white-collar jobs. The youth who could do farming on this land, they have left. And in some areas, you find that it's the old people who are in these villages, and they, of course, they do farming on a small scale. So you find that most of the land is not utilized. And of course, as for what we are talking about, most people are not interested in farming, so they have moved to other businesses. So they have not utilized the abundant land that we have in the country. So that's what I can explain, apart from a few big companies that have come and they are doing farming, organic farming on a large scale, but most of the land sincerely is not utilized. Yeah.
Ms. Hajara, the person you're sitting next to me, and I know I'm even getting chills in my body because I know what you've done with the young farmers, what you've done with different farmers in the regions where you have been able to reach out to. What are some of the challenges that the farmers have actually, addressed to you as an agricultural expert? What are some of those things that keep on recurring in the minds of farmers, and they keep on complaining about the same challenges? I understand you've pushed for innovations, you have pushed for technological advancement, but what are some of those recurring challenges?
Thank you very much, Anthony. First and foremost, farmers are still complaining about markets, and specifically organic markets. When I talk about markets, I mean access to the markets themselves. Apparently, we have at least 2 organic markets that are well known to me. One is in Abaita Babeli for Professor Sechewa, and another one is the Caritas market, that is a weekly market. We thank them very much for the great efforts, but we still need to establish more territorial markets within the country so that we can increase access of organic products to the consumers. I also talk about price volatility of organic products. Our farmers are not protected, I think, just because we don't have the organic bill. But we need to protect these farmers, whereby the markets should have a different market price for the organic products. And also, these products should receive a premium price from the consumers going to the farmers. In so doing, we shall be motivating these farmers to do organic agriculture on a commercial scale. Thirdly is market information. How does this information flow from top to down? We don't have an organic market information system so that farmers know the prices of the different products on the market, the trends, the changes. We really need to have this information system in place so that farmers are well updated about markets. Thirdly, I would talk about the quality of the products these farmers produce. It really springs from the trainings that we provide to these farmers. Myself, I'm interested in only quality products, and I believe every consumer is interested in organic products. So we should train these farmers to produce organic products that are of quality and can clearly be differentiated from other products within the markets so that they can favorably compete on the international markets. Another point is about the support systems in place. Organic farmers have not been supported to a smaller extent by the government. Most of the government programs that come in place are in support of conventional farmers. My farmers usually ask me, why don't we receive tractors from the government? Yet they have the land that can accommodate the tractors. Why don't they receive subsidies on traditional seeds or indigenous seeds? Why don't they receive subsidies on organic inputs, fertilizers, and agrochemicals? So if the government can work on that, our farmers will be really happy about it. Another point is access to organic inputs themselves. If we don't train these farmers on how to manufacture their own organic inputs, sometimes they don't have access. Yes, I've heard of Vanipro of recent, but I'm well conversant with Memago PSG Group. These guys are dealing in manufacturing of fertilizers and agrochemicals and specifically organic. So if we can have the different distribution points in the different regions of the country or districts, our farmers will have access to these organic inputs so that they don't get tempted to use the conventional inputs. Another point is the certification cost for these farmers. The cost is really high. Sometimes us who are also interested in certifying these farmers are overwhelmed by the cost attached to certification. Apparently in Uganda, we only have one EU accredited certifying entity, that is Ugosat, and it cannot satisfy the demand of the organic certification in Uganda.
I thought also Nogam does some bit of certification, don't they?
I think that question will be well answered by Marilyn. Okay. But from my experience, the certification costs are high, and some guys are even forced to import certifying services to the country, which makes it expensive in a long run. So I think we should have more certifying bodies that are publicly supported in Uganda. So those are the few challenges I've had from my farmers. I thank you, Anthony.
Well, thank you very much, Haja. And I don't want this question to go cold. About certification, Ms. Marilyn, Madam Haja is saying farmers are facing high costs of certification. And I thought for movements like Nogam, this should be one of your initiatives. Have you thought about venturing into this, or it's actually already in place, the certification?
Thank you, Anthony. In fact, like what she talked about, certification has come out every now and then, the high costs of certification. And it's one of the areas that we are looking at to see how we can address it. Like I said, we have a policy in place, and we are pushing for the bill, the Organic Agriculture Bill. And we know that once we have the bill in place, it will operationalize the policy, and it will be able to address some of those issues within the subsector. One of them being the high cost of certification. It's a big challenge, but I think we can do much more. And also that's why you see initiatives like Kevera is coming up, the Kevera device by Makerere University. They thought of innovations that can help as we have this challenge, whereby we have our own device and it can detect chemicals in the product. And once we are able to detect the chemicals in the product, we'll be able to sell. Because if someone tests and finds that it's organic, it's purely organic, they will buy more, they will put in more for that product, even maybe even without certification.
Tell us also about the quality management system. I love the fact that we are now having innovations such as the Kevera app, which is actually helping farmers. And I don't know how really it's working, but I hope it's really reaching out even to those farmers who probably can't have access to smartphones. But talk about the quality management systems. We understand there's a very thin line between organic agricultural products and inorganic agricultural products. If I grow 2 tomatoes, inorganic agriculture has gone to that extent that it can actually replicate exactly what is produced in the organic agricultural kind of methods in this other format. So what quality management systems have been put in place to see that we can tell the difference between us having the organic agricultural product and the inorganic agricultural product, especially now when we go out to our marketplaces. I was surprised when Hajar actually mentioned just about 2 markets which I've even never gone to, and she's saying these are the only markets of agricultural products. So I'm afraid we are having so many inorganically produced products on our market. So how can I tell the difference? What systems are there in place for us to tell them apart?
Maybe I could share more on the Kevera. This is a device that has been developed. It's not yet implemented on the market. How to address the challenge of certification, we are also doing some of those things. But we need the bill in place. The bill operationalizes the policy. The policy highlights a number of areas in there. It's in place. And during the National Organic Agriculture Week, we are happy that the minister and also the third Prime Minister committed they are going to support this process. So that's a key milestone for us as Nogam, because once we have the bill, we know that we are going to do wonders, because most of the challenges we are talking about will be addressed, and most of these things are included in the policy.
Yeah.
So we're on the right track, Anthony.
Yes. Thank you. I'd like to bring back Hajara here on the issue of the quality management systems. As of course your experience with farmers, how have farmers put up with this, and what mechanisms are in place, and how can they be improved to monitor the quality? Because like you said, you're very passionate about quality. You're a person who likes quality. So what mechanisms or management systems are in place so far, or what can be put in place?
Thank you very much, Anthony. First and foremost, we have tried so much, as I said, to come up with traceability tools that are in position to help you trace the origin of the product. Most of the times when you receive this product, there is always a batch number on the product. So that batch number usually entails the name of the producer, or the code of the producer, or the producer group. So using that code of the producer group, you're in position to complain in case of any non-compliance about the product. So this group can go back and trace where the problem is. Another one is there are some quality management systems in place for organic bodies. For instance, on our end, we have the internal control system that we follow right from the field to the distribution of the product. So in case of any non-compliance about the product, I'm in position to know where it is springing from. Thirdly, the organic markets should get products from organic farmers or organic organizations that are trusted for now, before we embark on using Kebela, because it's not yet on market. So like for the organic market in Abaita Babili, they normally come to us and get pineapples from our end. So they are in position to trace back in case of any non-compliance about the product. So they trust the producers of the product, and in case of anything, they surely get back to us. And that is very fine with us. So we are in position to trace back. So the only difference between conventional and organic products is organic products can be traced back to the origin, unlike conventional products. So in so doing, we are trying to control the quality of these organic products. And thirdly, we should also try to use extension methods that promote farmers and quality control, like the PGS. This is the participatory guarantee system, whereby farmers are in a group and everyone feels that it is their responsibility to guarantee quality to the markets. And they have a specific committee responsible for quality control. And in case of anything, it is that committee responsible to explain to the entire team why the product has been maybe degraded back to them. So such systems can help us, because farmers also get to know that it is their responsibility to produce healthy and safe food for humans.
Wonderful insight there from Hajara. Maureen, before I forget, she's talked about organizing farmers in committees that can help them track quality also. And I know communities or farming communities can do even a lot more in as regards savings and bringing on board knowledge. You can easily find them and educate them and sensitize them. As Nogam, have you thought about also this? Are there some groups of farmers who have actually come together as farmers maybe of a specific product or farmers from a specific region that actually can help farmers to actually come together and find solutions to the common challenges?
Thank you, Anthony. Like I did say, the National Organic Agriculture Movement brings together different actors, and some of these are cooperatives who are dealing with a number of things, and there are companies already who have these organized farmers in groups, so you can easily trace where the product is coming from. And also we are promoting the participatory guarantee system, which allows farmers to work together and market their products together so that they ensure there is quality and they abide by the standards as per their group. So as Nogamo, this is something that we are promoting. We are working through our members who have different farmer groups, who have different organized farmers and producing different products. But still through this, the strategic plan, we will do much more so that the farmers we are working with are organized, they are producing quality products. We can apply some of the innovations like Chikevera. We can get for them market, because we can only produce more and in big volumes if we have organized farmers in groups. So we can do much more, though we have a number already on the ground.
Wow, thank you so much, Madam Marilyn. We are going to take another quick break and come back for our last segment for the show. And on this one, Madam Hajara and Miss Marilyn, I would like to bring you on the fact that you're launching for the organic bill to be put in place so that we have a policy actually that and a regulation over organic agriculture in Uganda. But one of the threats to that is the genetic engineering bill. It has been in place, and of course since 2012 it was brought on the table of Parliament and then rejected in 2017 by the President. Again in 2021 the President refused to consent to it, and currently just 1 month ago, I think in November, there are people actually who are launching for this, not only here in Uganda but in East Africa. What are some of the threats that this brings on board? Of course, many people have come out to speak strongly on it. And also, when it comes to organic agriculture, what is your standpoint on this? Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking organic agriculture in Uganda. And of course, we are, of course, taking you through some of the challenges, some of the opportunities in the sector. And with Madam Marilyn and Madam Hajara. Short commercial break and return shortly. Stay with us.